Welcome to episode 2 of the Game Caddie tutorials. I'm Scott Moeller, and in this video we want to take a look at some of the things a new Game Caddie user can do to get started. One of the first things I encourage you to do is to take the in-game tutorial that comes with the Game Caddie. And all you have to do to bring up that tutorial from any screen, hold down the control key and press T. And there it is. That's the Game Caddie tutorial. And I'm not going to walk you through the entire tutorial here, but I want to show you how it works. It really consists of a number of tabs up here at the top. So to get started, you get started, right? And then down here, there are sub-tabs. And so the very first thing that the Game Caddie asks you to do is to clear the caddy. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the first couple of screens here. Select the scorecard tab down here. Click on that. Notice that the tutorial stays on top. And then it says click on the Clear Game Caddie button located right here. And you got a picture of it there to help guide you. You don't have to get rid of the tutorial. Just go ahead and click on that. And what that's going to do is ask you if you want to clear the Game Caddie, and all that does, it initializes everything, sets everything back to make it a pristine Game Caddie. Of course, you know, if this is what you're doing the first time you get your Game Caddie, you're not going to really see anything. But if somewhere along the line you've been playing around with it and you want to take the tutorial, pressing yes here will help the tutorial to do what it needs to do. The next thing, it says proceed to player setup tab, and there's two ways we can do that. We can just go up here and click on the player setup tab or sub tab, or we could just come down here and click next. I tend to click next because sometimes you can get a little confused trying to figure out what to click on next. So we'll click on next here. And what it does, you'll see, is we're still on the Get Started tab. Under the sub-tabs, we've moved from clearing the caddy now to player setup. And there's a set of instructions in here that's interactive. And what it will do is prompt you to fill in information in these boxes right here. So it's essentially asking you to click on the Caddy 1 tab if not already there. We are there, so we don't have to click on anything. And the tutorial says, okay, put this information that you see right here using Tiger Woods 2020 card into these boxes right along this line here. Now don't worry if you don't have Tiger Woods card, doesn't matter for the purposes of the tutorial. But it does give you a feel for what you have to do when you're actually using the Game Caddie to play. Notice that you can move this screen anywhere you need to in order to make visible anything that might be hidden behind it. Now, as you go through here, again, we're on the Get Started tab and the Player Setup sub-tab. Once you finish this screen, you click on Next, and it's going to take you to setting the conditions. And after you do what's on here, go to the next one, and it will take you over here to preparing a course. Once you click on the last of the sub-tabs Next buttons, it will take you back up to the top and move you from this tab over to the next one to the right. And you continue to do that all the way through the tutorial, and you can't go wrong. A couple things I do want to point out. This tutorial is linear. And so the assumption is that you're going to sit down and you're going to go through this in one sitting. It takes most people 45 minutes to an hour to do that. If you have to stop somewhere along the way and you need to close out the Game Caddie, you can come back to the tutorial just the way that we did the first time, but recognize that it's going to take you back to this Get Started tab and over to clearing the caddy. If you want to, you can jump ahead most of the time without any problems, but there are some things in here that are interactive, and some tabs are dependent on what you've already entered in on a previous tab. So I strongly encourage you to go through this in linear fashion. And you'll notice that it does cover quite a lot, but it covers things at a very basic level. It will get you up and going, but it does not cover everything that the Game Caddie can do. Another thing that you want to make use of is the Game Caddie user guide. And I'm just going to show you a couple things in here that I encourage you to do as a new user. One of which is to read the introduction, starting with, what is the Game Caddie, and it'll explain to you what its capabilities are, what it can and what it can't do. When you finish up with the introduction, what you'll go to is on page 4. It will be the tutorials in part 1. Now, the first tutorial that you'll come across is what we just covered on the Game Caddie. This is the one that's built in. The second tutorial starts on page 5, and that tutorial here, where it's numbered 2, is a 3-hole Game Caddie tutorial that is very detailed. It starts off with some basic information to get you started and to help get you oriented to using the Game Caddie. But as you go through this, it becomes progressively more advanced and covers most of the features that are in the Game Caddie and things that you are likely to use. So that's all in part 1. In part 2 of the Game Caddie, what you'll see are some examples of basic shots, and that starts on page 17. So, what do you need to do when you're hitting wood or iron shots? What are you doing when you're working the ball? And how to make WI adjustments, the wood iron adjustments, how to knock down a shot. So this is really good for specific situations that you're in, and you want to know specifically how to do something. And the things that are covered in here range from basic to more advanced. The last thing I want to point out is on page 20, and that is part 3, which is a reference guide. Now, it's unlikely that you're going to sit down and read from page 20 to page 68 to go through this entire reference guide. It's not intended to be used that way. This is more like, how to find specific things that are under the hood. And so each section within the reference guide is broken down according to the different tabs that you see with the Game Caddie. So again, coming back here, you'll find a section on the Caddie tabs. You'll find a section in the reference guide about conditions tab, clubs tab, lies tab, and so forth. So that's pretty much what the user guide is all about. And the last thing I want to point out to you in this video is that you can always go to the Game Caddie channel by clicking on this link here, and it will take you to the video that you're watching right now, as well as other ones that are uploaded already and in the future. I strongly encourage you, if you haven't done so already, is to take a look at the tutorial. It's a lengthier one, but it is called the Q&A and 2-hole tutorial live stream. That video will give you a sense of how to actually play with the Game Caddie under real conditions. That's all for today. Hope you found this video helpful. Until next time, grip it and rip it.